it's really Synder. I am so excited to introduce these two to you today. So please, welcome to the stage, Amy Jo Johnson and David Yost!
Hello, everybody. How's it going? This convention is so awesome and like very intense, and it's been wild, right?
Very exciting, and we're so appreciative of all of you for being here. So thank you, because obviously without you, we wouldn't be who we are. So thank you.
So I know y'all have some travel to get to. So today we're going to do a 30-minute panel. So what I'm going to do is skip all my questions and get us set up. Not all of them. I'll do pretty much but I am going to get us set up for the QA while I chat with you. So we do have a microphone in the center of the room. So gently, slowly, safely, please line up at that microphone. When you ask your question, share your name and where you're from. And remember, there's not any time to get to everyone's questions, so be conscious in your questions to ask something for the whole room. All right? So, Amy, David, it's such a pleasure to have you both here today. When you think about the legacy of this series and all of the work that you have done in your professional and personal lives after, what is the legacy of this series for you?
Well, I think, for me, it's been very interesting to have this first job that I had as an actress 35 years ago when we were doing the show. I don't know about for you, David.
32. Don't age us too much.
32. He's older than me, so he gets a little nervous.
You look great.
Having that be my first job, really, as an actress, even having no idea how it was impacting all of these children at that time, to now, 32 years later, meeting everybody at these conventions and realizing the impact that it did have on so many kids is like this really beautiful blessing in my life. So I don't know if that answers your question for me, but I find it such a blessing that I had no idea was happening at that time, wearing pink spandex on national television.
Oh yeah.
As my first gig.
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely, I would say, humbling for the entire original cast. Obviously, as Amy Jo was saying, there's no way that we could have predicted what kind of an impact the show would have. I know when we did the first pilot, I was like, what are we even doing? It's like I was so confused on what we were doing. But to be able to get to
You mean the tone?
The tone, the spandex, the
Dino Rangers.
The Dino Rangers when we filmed the original pilot. It was Phantoms when we auditioned for the show, so it took on all these incarnations. But it is humbling to get to travel around the world and get to experience so many people like you, and just know that the characters that we played influenced you in some way. I know a lot of people became gymnasts because of you. You were everybody's first crush. I was a few people's first crush. Thank you. That was a sympathy clap. Thank you. I mean, come on, I wore overalls for 6 years. Yeah, so it's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey for all of us. To know that we're here 32 years later is really remarkable, and it says something about the franchise and says something about you guys. And I'm glad that we got to provide, just a little bit of inspiration for a lot of people. So thank you.
Yeah. David, I watched a few previous interviews with you in preparation for this panel, and one of the things that just comes across every time on the screen is your kindness just emanates. Like, you just have this beautiful grace and kindness, and
meet your fans. Honestly, one of the most generous people I've ever met in my entire life. At the same time,
Oh, we're getting the real term.
no, you are very, very kind. What would you call that though? A lot of things happen to you.
A lot of things happen to me.
Like the flight will be delayed.
Oh, yeah.
Or like
I'm a
salmon
Murphy's-
comes raw.
I'm a Murphy's Law person, so if I order food, it's usually wrong. I have to send it back. I'm always the one that has to complain.
His kindness is tested often.
I'm often a Chad, I guess, is what they call me. Instead of a Karen, I'm a Chad.
Oh, really? That's it.
Sometimes, yeah.
Well, hopefully we won't.
But I
Sorry,
That's that kindness here.
appreciate that you say that. It's kind of you.
Yeah, don't let that get out. And Amy, your creativity, you are writing music, screenplays. You've now written a comic book. Can you talk a bit about just the writing process when you were working in so many different disciplines?
Well, it's all very different. I think for music, it's always been very cathartic. It kind of comes from my journal. Whatever emotional thing I'm going through is where I have a new EP coming out very soon, and two of those songs come from, it's called Still Here, and two of those songs actually come from journals in my 20s, and I took those lyrics and they still resonated with me, and even more so today than they did back then. One of the songs is called Still Here. And then for, I don't know, what were we talking about? Oh, writing. And then like screenplays has been like this whole wild, and David writes screenplays as well. Fantastic journey for me of learning structure. And actually, I used to, a long time ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I would just write from the heart. And my friend who was on Flashpoint with me, David Petkow, was like, you should really learn structure. And I was like, why? I never learned how to play the guitar. I just play the guitar. And he's like, you should probably learn structure. So I did, and I went and I just took like a ton of books and started learning structure. And there's so many different techniques and ways to write screenplay. And so that's fun to me, is to actually have the structure and then yet still infuse my own like imagination and creativity and stuff. It's super fun. And then for comic books, I did write The Return right there with my boyfriend Matt, and that has been a really cool learning curve for us to learn how to write together, which I've never done before. And then also writing comic books, it's just so different. Where Matt, his dream has been to write comic books, and he grew up reading comic books. He buys probably 20 comic books a week. He has a lot of comic books. So it's sort of ingrained with him, layout and all that stuff. And for me, it is a massive learning curve. And I can't talk about that. No, sorry, moving on. Yeah, so I love writing.
We're simply glad you do, and none of us are going to ask you about the thing you can't talk about, but we're excited for whatever it is. All right, let's go to our first question. What's your name and where are you from?
I was always impressed by his ethic in terms of work and building a brand and building who he was. And he's always been that way since the day he walked onto the set when he was a 19-year-old little goofy, curly-haired guy. I just thought he was the weirdest person like the first time I met him. He was so funny. He always had us laughing, but so he was always getting in trouble.
I feel like he lived his life like a rock star.
Yeah, he definitely did.
He had the rock star energy, like on set when he would get on his ATV or whatever they're called, and then ride off into the distance, and we see him like going over the horizon while we're shooting. And like the first day, he's like, "Where's Jason?" And then like maybe 15 minutes later, this little speck would like come over the horizon, and here he comes. It was.
Yeah, I mean, if they would tell him don't do something, he would definitely do it. He was definitely one of those people. So he was an amazing guy.
Yeah.
And obviously, he loved himself.
I'm a huge fan to like all your albums last week in preparation for this event. My question is, there was a season 2 episode where you and Walter sang a song, I think it was called Down the Road, to Jason. And then they played it again in the special last year. My question was, have you ever considered releasing that as a studio single?
Oh, I have not, only because I wrote that song with another person, Shuki Levy, and his wife at the time, who's his ex-wife now, Shelly Daniels. And so I don't own the rights to that song. I don't even know who does. But yeah, Hasbro. But it was a really sweet song. What was funny?
I don't know. Hasbro.
or Playmate now, right? Or what's the new? Who knows who owns the rights? But I do not.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Kenny. I'm from Chicago. My question is, was there any type of culture shock from filming the TV shows and also working on the Mighty Morphin movie?
There's a huge difference, right?
In terms of filming?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a lot of fun, I think, for us to get to go to Australia. We're these young kids. I hadn't really ever been out of the country other than Mexico, so it was really neat to go to Australia and get to film that.
Also to go from a very, very low budget TV show to a $35 million movie was kind of wild.
Was it that much?
Yeah.
It was only 15 million, but okay.
It was 35 million, but I think they only made 15 million back.
Yeah.
Like it really didn't do well in the box office. I think because kids could watch us every week on TV, that it didn't translate.
Well, yeah, and like, you know, when you're kids, you go to the movies during the day, and back then the tickets were like half the price, so they didn't really put all that into the equation.
Nah, it should have been you guys.
No, we're talking about the original movie.
The 1995 movie.
Yeah, so that was like, in the suits.
The suits were amazing.
They were like 70 pounds. I like the spandex personally.
I mean, the spandex is way more comfortable, but the movie suits looked amazing.
What was the deal with having to go to the bathroom in those? Like, it was really...
It was an ordeal.
They wouldn't let us drink water on set.
Yeah,
Just in case we had to pee.
Because it's they'd zip us in them and all that stuff. I think the ninja outfits were worse. Because back then, instead of zipping, they tied us into the ninja outfits. So that was the bigger deal.
And that was non-union still because we were in Australia. But it's not complete.
Just hearing you say we couldn't drink water immediately made me thirsty.
Yeah, I think that's why I always have to have water near me. Can I ask you a question? Did Jason David Frank jump out of the plane?
No.
I tell people he did. Are you sure he did?
I'm 1,000%.
I remember him doing it. When we were in the park, he was the only one. He came down and they filmed him.
No.
Are you sure?
We all did the thing in the park. We were hooked on wires. We pulled us way up in the air.
Now was that?
That we came
I
in.
like my memories.
I'm sure Jason likes your memory too. Oh yeah, dude. That was.
I mean, if
that
he
was
could,
really
he
good.
would have.
If he would have. But yeah, we were not allowed.
Remember he wanted to base jump into the...
Here's the thing. You went against... We signed these contracts saying that we will not do anything that would injure us or potentially be hazardous. And while we were in Australia, you went skydiving.
That was Hawaii. Oh no.
No, it was Australia.
I think that was in Hawaii.
No, I think you were in Australia.
I think I was in Hawaii. I have the video. I'll check it.
Yeah, sure.
I'll get back to you.
But anyways, I think that passion started Jason's. Actually, Amy Jo was the first person to skydive, and Jason is like, I don't want to say jealous, but he's competitive. So once he heard that, you were like, oh my god, it was like a transformative experience. He's like, So then he started.
This is news to me. I inspired Jason to start like base jumping.
Competitively, yes. I have one time. This is how competitive he is. I was like, I really want to learn how to fly planes, like little small planes. And I was like, I think I'm going to start that. 2 weeks later, Jason Frank is learning how to fly planes. And he got his pilot's.
Why would anybody want to fly a little plane?
I used to want to be a pilot when I was young.
Do you remember the episode with my uncle where I had to be in a plane and I was too scared to go up in the plane?
I don't remember you being too scared, but I remember
Yeah, I
the
was.
episode.
I love how all the time
We didn't
later
answer
we're
your
still
question.
finding out
Sorry.
more things.
We didn't answer your question, I'm sorry. We tried. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Mike from Chicago. For what it's worth, when Jason David Frank did a panel here, he said he jumped out of the plane. So
He's lying.
yeah, he said he did it for the movie. He said he did it.
He went up there.
1,000%.
I remember. He may not have jumped out into the shot.
No. I will say the editors of that film did an amazing job because it really does look like all of us for the most part. Even in the rollerblading, when they're doing some of the stunts in rollerblading, he didn't. I know for a fact he didn't.
There is a potential technicality here. If the plane was parked, he could have jumped.
And then we all jumped
And we
out.
all jumped out of the plane.
It was that giant, huge warehouse, big green screen, and they had the plane.
They had a piece of the plane, yeah. But he did not, so I'm sorry.
Ask you guys. So most superheroes, like a different actor will take over the role, like every few years, whatever. Until the 2017 movie came out, you guys were the only people to ever play Kimberly and Billy. So I was curious, when you saw other people taking on those roles, what'd you think of that?
I loved it. I thought Naomi Scott was like great. I was very flattered by the for Kimberly.
Yeah, and I mean, I was overwhelmed with R.J. Kyler. I just thought, like, he
was
did such an amazing job with Billy, and he and I had met prior to them filming. Not because he wanted my advice or anything like that, but I was excited for him. He's such a talented actor, so like when I saw it, I mean, I cried when Billy, in theory, passed away in the movie and all that. I was like, oh my god, this is so good. So he did an amazing job. So I think everybody was really happy to see those people take on those roles.
That's awesome. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Hello, Ms. Frizzle.
Hello, I'm Genevieve. I'm from Iowa. The first thing my nieces asked when I said I was coming here was, will the Power Rangers be there? They are 30 years younger than me. So I was thinking on my way up, it would be really cool if you guys did like a Girl Meets World, Fuller House. Would you want to be Power Parents?
Power parents. You know what? I stopped acting a very long time ago. Maybe like 10 years ago now, right? I took that hat off and I only write and direct now and I love it. And I have no desire to act again. Although I would if maybe The Return was turned into an animated series. And me and David do like to act a little bit. Like once a month when we read The Return on my IG Live. Have you guys seen that? So a lot of you don't know. Because you know when I met a bunch of people, even today, in Chicago, I'm really going on a different tangent, but I met so many people who aren't online, and I find that so refreshing and really cool.
Social media is what she
Social media. Having said that, have we picked a date?
I think we did it 2 weeks, basically.
It was like May 14th or 15th?
Something like
May 14th or 15th, we're gonna announce it, but we're gonna read issue 3 of MMPR The Return, which is the comic book that I wrote with my boyfriend on our IG Lives. And right now, if you go to my IG Live, you can see us read issue 1. And he's got a lot of props in that one. I don't know if you've seen it. And issue 2, I mean, the wigs come out. It's the whole thing. So I'm really excited to see what you do with issue 3.
I'm excited too. I read issue 3. I love it. I'm like so inspired by it. I've been ruminating about what I'm going to do, so I'm excited. Yeah, back to Power Ranger parents. I enjoy acting with Amy Jo. I had written, before the 30th anniversary, I was trying to get a limited series.
Quantum Continuum.
Which is called the Quantum Continuum. That kind of deals with the original cast, and we're parents, and we're having to try to save planet Earth again, and our kids are with us in that journey. So,
If David ever got the opportunity to do Quantum Continuum, I would play Kimberly. You have the opportunity? Oh, dear
oh
Lord.
no, don't worry.
Oh, dear Lord.
We'll see. It's it's not a closed door yet.
Not pocketing that, just waiting for that announcement.
By the way, I've been talking to Hasbro.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Brandon Jones, and I'm from Richmond, Virginia. And
Where I'm from.
we all know, Amy Jo, you have your reasons for not returning for once and always, which is fine. That's what it
Pink
is.
spandex, 53.
But I love your comic, The Return. It's amazing. I contributed to the Kickstarter. I love it.
Thank you.
I've read it multiple times. So my question was for both of you, actually. Was The Return something you wanted to picture Hasbro to turn into live action? And for David Yost, what was it like working with Hasbro, like creatively? Did you bounce ideas off of them for Once and Always, and possibly for Cosmic Fury, and maybe something in the future?
I'll answer mine super quick. My original idea for The Return was called Pink Ranger Olivia Hart, and it was a TV series idea I had, kind of like Dark Angel meets like Supergirl, about Olivia Hart, Tommy and Kimberly's daughter. But I knew that it was going to be a really, probably, not even a long road, a dead-end road to try and get this kind of TV show off within a franchise that it's very hard to navigate. And so me and Matt decided rather quickly, pivoted and shifted to thinking of it as a comic book. And knowing the 30th anniversary is coming up, we sort of thought of the comic book not just about this one character, but all the characters and where would they be now. And then so that was my gesture to the 30th anniversary of the franchise, rather than putting on the pink spandex. That's my answer.
Great answer. In terms of Once and Always, I will say I feel like I had a huge influence on that. I didn't agree with everything that was filmed, but I did have a voice for a lot of it, and I'm glad that so many fans have reacted so well to it, so that's been a positive. In terms of Cosmic Fury, no, I didn't get to say anything.
Was that the series that you did afterwards?
Yeah, that was the series afterwards. I mean, I would have done something totally different than what they were doing. I didn't quite understand. Half the time I was shooting, I was just like, okay. Sure, I'll say that. But it was fun. I had a good time, and the kids in that cast are amazing, and they were so welcoming to me, so I had a lot of fun with them. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Hello, I'm Blaze Hawk. I'm from Monmouth, Illinois. And my question is for both of you. From which show, which episode from the original series was your guys' favorite?
I like to say Power Books. Yeah. Or Switching Places, because I really like working with David Yost.
Are you sure?
Did I enjoy myself back then? I loved doing those episodes with you.
I would say I just remember Switching Places was one of the first episodes that was written. So even before we started filming, that was one that we got to rehearse. I don't know if they had us to rehearse.
God, your memory is so good.
And so that's one that we actually worked on a bit, and I was always excited about that. And I thought you did an amazing job as Billy. So funny, like with your lipstick all over your face, you had silly string in your hair. It was good.
And then you guys heard the story about when we almost caught on fire and stuff.
Oh, yeah. That was in that episode too.
That's old news.
Yeah.
Amy Jo did the prop wrong, it started on fire.
Did I?
No, I'm just teasing. I just wanted to see if you did.
One of my favorite little joke or one-liners from you, Amy, was when in the first episode was you after you got back to the command center was for like, oh, helmet hair.
Yeah.
definitely those helmets gave you a helmet. Definitely.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
So I'm keeping track of time. We're coming up on the end of our panel now, so this will be our last question.
We can do 3 more.
3 more. Sorry, 2, 3. Okay. Hi.
Rob from Milwaukee. Both of you have written your own expanded universe. Did you guys compare notes?
We did actually a little bit. Not compare notes, but we definitely were letting each other know what we were doing just to not step on each other's toes.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's the episode where Kimberly is presented as the bride for Zed, and you have to like challenge her and Eric Barbara Goodson to do like a Rita impression.
Yeah.
So, were there any monsters that you guys wish you had been able to actually voice?
Nope.
No. simple answer.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I don't even remember what they sounded like.
Hi, what's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Francisco. I'm from Cary, Penn State. My question, do you have any memories that you could share about the woman that played the Yellow Ranger? I just don't want to mispronounce her name.
Tweet Trang.
Tweet Train. I have many memories of Thuy. She was awesome to work with. She became a very dear friend of mine. One of my favorite memories is during the earthquake, which I told the story before, where she was sleeping over, we were having a little slumber party when that big giant earthquake in 92, was it?
94.
No way. I don't think so.
I did. we filmed the original.
Somebody Google right now, earthquake 92 Los Angeles.
Northridge.
It's the Northridge earthquake.
Was it 94? Oh, you know what? It was the riots in 92.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, those were I just moved to Los Angeles, and literally 2 months later were the riots. And 2 years after that was
An earthquake.
And Thuy was sleeping in my bed, and we woke up, and it sounded like nuclear war was happening. And we sat in the doorway, and we both prayed in our own ways, and then lit candles on a gas stove.
That part was
Then went to work, and we all showed up.
Yeah, then they called us, there's the power's out all throughout the city, freeways have collapsed, and our phones are ringing somehow, saying, you guys, you have to come to work. You have to come to work. And we're like, the mayor of Los Angeles is saying, do not leave your house, you need to come into that now. So we all drove down there, and inside the studio, the ceiling like this had fallen down, and we're getting ready in the dark, and I'm trying to find a generator to get power. And finally, after about 5 hours, they said, yeah, we can't do this. It was really crazy.
At least we were all together.
At least we were all together. But that was scary.
What's your favorite memory of Thuy?
Oh, I forgot what we were talking about. Thuy, there's so many. I just remember she had a great laugh. I do remember the earthquake day. I don't know why that's. I think the glass, one of the windows in your house broke in the front. And I think maybe glass either cut you or cut her. I don't remember. Remember that? No? But Thuy was a lot of fun to work with. She was just very sweet, very nice, great laugh. Yeah.
Okay. This is your last.
Thank you. My name is Maria. I come from Paris, not in Texas, but Ile-de-France.
Okay.
And I just wanted to know that because Power Rangers was a huge thing for the French, but also for the fans worldwide. And looking back, how do you feel about being part of one of the most, biggest show ever that impacted so much generations? And if you have any touching stories from the fans you want to share with us, go with it, please.
Well, that was kind of like the first question we had. But yeah, just the fact that it was in France and somebody from Pakistan showed up yesterday. I don't know if you're here right now, but he literally flew in from Pakistan to meet me and David, which is crazy. He flew in on Wednesday and he's flying back on Monday. So it blows my mind that the show has gone all over the world. And it's really mind-blowing. I don't even think we really fathom the impact that it had on kids.
No. not at all. I mean, just even, it's still hard to like try to register that in your brain. The first time I think that I did C2E2 with Walter, these two, Nidita and Nandita, from India.
From India.
They flew all the way over here. I think they were only 15 years old, and they flew here with their dad. And they brought me and Walter these beautiful pictures that they had made, and just to know that the show has had that worldwide effect on people is humbling. And just knowing that people would travel such a great distance to come to meet us is, I don't even know how to express that. It's
intense.
It's intense, in a good way. And you know, I don't know what I sound like in French. I sound good. I sound good? Good. Usually when I go to Mexico, people are like, you don't sound like Billy. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I think I sound like so, you know, it's really cool to know that our show has been translated in all these different languages as well. So it's pretty awesome. So
Is there
thank you.
anything that you want to say before we wrap it up?
Thank
No,
you.
I'm just thinking of like, is there anything you want to plug or talk about or anything? Because I just want to talk about the return real quick.
Go for it.
I'm just kidding. But we are wrapping up, so I just did you have
Plug it out.
Just wanted to talk about the return. If you guys have read The Return or not, it's a comic book that I wrote with my partner, Matt Hudson. There's 4 issues. Issue 4 comes out in a month. Issue 1, 2, and 3 have already come out. You can get them at your comic book shops. I also have an EP that's coming out. It's all finished. I'm just figuring out when to put it on Spotify and all the different streaming venues. And it's 3 songs. They're from my heart, and they're about perseverance and still being here. So those are going to be coming out in the next couple months. And I have a website called amyjojohnson.com that I sort of put all this information. And there's a private little toy box in there that you can go in there, and I actually did find a really great copy of Susie Q from like the 90s. And they loaded the whole thing up, so you can actually go in there and watch the entire movie if you wanted to. Also, the space between my first feature I ever wrote and directed is up there too, and you can watch the whole thing if you want.
And mid-May, y'all are going to be reading issue 3 of the comic on IG Live. How can folks find out? You said you'd make an announcement. Where's the best place to sort of follow you or find out where that announcement would be to watch?
On the IG Live.
On IG Live.
Oh, the IG Live would be on my IG Live. I mean, on my IG. And David just reminded me, for issue 4, for any of Power MMPR Return fans, or if you guys like the book, so I have commissioned an exclusive cover for issue 4 from Kevin Eastman. Anyway, I haven't told anybody that yet. So, it's mine.
Oh, okay.
Literally, I am the only one who will have this cover, and Kevin, who I'm giving him like 50, I like to call him Kevin. Kevin Eastman created Ninja Turtles, for those of you who don't know. And this is like so exciting for me and Matt to have this cover, and I'm gonna have it available on my website as soon as I can. And issue 4 comes out the end of May, so it'll be around that.
But you can only get that cover on her website.
Through me. Or at a convention.
Or at a convention.
Isn't that cool? He said yes.
I mean, I'm in the midst of writing a television series. Hopefully that will get picked up. I've entered it into many screenwriting competitions at this point. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback right now, so hopefully it'll be moving forward. Even if I don't win those competitions, I'll be pushing it forward, but hopefully you guys, it's not Power Rangers related, so sorry. But it's sort of a superhero journey, but it deals with aliens, so. It's called Commentary, and just keep a lookout for it because, I don't know, I feel good about it. All right.
It's very good.
Thank you both for your time and very specific memories today that are all very accurate.
Jason did not just
Thank all of you. Let's hear it for Amy Jo Johnson.
We're going to be on our tables till about 2:30, 3 o'clock, and then we have to go catch a flight. So if you want to come see us, come down.